Hello and welcome to TVB News. I'm Melissa Hekalea. It's Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to those who are celebrating. Many residents and tourists arrived in Central to experience the festive atmosphere. A bar in Lan Kwai Fong said that it would offer free drinks to attract customers during the holiday. Samantha Lee reports.
Before distributing gifts, Santa Claus didn't take a break. Instead, he took photos with visitors at the Winterfest in Central. This Christmas wasn't too cold, but the Christmas decorations in Winterfest allowed citizens to experience the winter festive season. In the evening, a 3D projection show combined with 8 iconic buildings in Central will create a spectacular light display. A big Christmas tree attracted a queue over 100 people.
Revelers flock to Central to immerse themselves in the festive joy, with many of them being families. Many of them gathered in front of the giant 20-meter tall Christmas tree to take photos. Meanwhile, some tourists said this year's atmosphere is much livelier than last year's.
Frozen's Elsa and Anna were spotted among the crowd.
So I wish everyone could have a great Christmas and to be living happily.
2 Australian tourists said they had not visited Hong Kong during Christmas before.
It's more of a family thing. When the family gets together, then that's it. So, yeah, you don't have all this in the square or the lights or anything like that.
Meanwhile, another festive hotspot, Lan Kwai Fong, is also full of Christmas spirit.
Social media.
A bar manager said this year he will offer free drinks to attract customers. Affected by the Wanfu court fire and external travel, he expects business this holiday season to drop by 20 to 30% compared to last year. Samantha Lee, TVB News.
Our reporter Samantha Lee is now at the Winterfest in Central. So Samantha, what is it like out there?
The Christmas spirit is in the air. Here in Central, the Christmas tree is towering and is lighting up and attracting many people who want to snap photos. People have to line up in order to get into the photo-taking area. Meanwhile, an immersive light show has just started at 7 p.m. LED animations and lighting effects beam across the facades of 8 iconic buildings. Hong Kong Cup building and the Court of Final Appeal are wrapped in holiday motifs. The temperature here is around 20 degrees Celsius, but it doesn't dampen the holiday vibes. And as we can see, many revelers are dressed up to celebrate the Christmas Eve. The organizer, Hong Kong Tourism Board, hopes the event will spread warmth, hope and blessing on peace to all. And we will stay here for more updates. For now, back to you in the studio.
That looks like a lot of fun. Anyway, Hong Kong's airport was packed with travelers on Christmas Eve. The Immigration Department estimates about 11.52 million passengers will pass through the city's various control points over the Christmas and New Year period. Mimo Singhai reports.
A busy airport on the morning of Christmas Eve. Holiday spirit filled the departure hall as many travelers prepared to spend Christmas out of town. But before they could set off and enjoy their holidays, a measure of patience was needed while checking in for their flights. We thought the airport would be crowded, so we came here early, said this woman, who was excited about her trip to Xi'an in the mainland with her friends. One family said Japan was their holiday destination and they would stay there for 11 days. We planned the trip a few months in advance to avoid expensive flight tickets, this father of 2 said. The airport authority said about 1,200 flights will take off and land each day during the Christmas and New Year period, with daily passenger volume potentially reaching up to 200,000. Meanwhile, residents who are spending the holidays in the city should pay attention to the adjusted Christmas Eve public transport services. The MTR will provide overnight train services on its local lines and 7 light rail routes on Christmas Eve. 12 KMB Kowloon and New Territories routes will extend their services, and 5 special overnight buses will be in operation for the occasion. Mums 9, TVB News.
Sources say Japanese authorities are intending to charge a fee for a pre-travel screening system for visa-free visitors starting in the 2028 fiscal year. Timothy Lee tells us more.
Currently, residents from countries and territories, including Hong Kong, are exempt from needing visas to travel to Japan, and are only required to fill in a disembarkation card or complete the immigration procedure via the Visit Japan web. This as Kyodo News reported on Tuesday that the Japanese government is planning to introduce a pre-screening system, known as the Japan Electronic System for Travel Authorization, for foreigners entering the country. Visitors will be asked a number of questions, including reasons for their visit. A fee is also being considered for the scheme, with travelers possibly paying between 2,000 and 3,000 yen per person, or around 100 to 150 Hong Kong dollars. Sources told Kyodo the total number of tourists in Japan this year surpassed the 40 million mark for the first time, with some noting that fees acquired from the screening system will rake in a substantial income. The primary purpose of the scheme is reportedly the prevention of foreigners plotting terrorist attacks or engaging in illegal activities. Some local travel agencies said certain countries in Europe and the West have already adopted similar schemes, stressing that residents' appetite for traveling in Japan would not be affected by the mandatory pre-screening system. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
Customs seized approximately $36 million worth of suspected counterfeit goods and arrested one person ahead of Christmas. Timothy Lee again.
About 83,000 suspected counterfeit goods were seized, including football shirts, handbags, cosmetics, e-watches, and sports shoes. Customs officials believe criminals are taking advantage of the large volume of cross-border shipments during the Christmas season to smuggle counterfeit goods and mix them with genuine products for sale. From August 8th to the 19th of this month, Customs conducted enforcement operations, cracking 27 cases. One case involved cross-border transshipment of counterfeit goods in various districts and at the Hong Kong port of the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge. It is believed that all goods were destined for overseas destinations, including Europe, Australia, and the United States. A 55-year-old male truck driver was arrested at the port and is on bail pending further investigation. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
The U.S. on Tuesday said it would increase tariffs on Chinese semiconductor imports in 2027. U.S. authorities said it came after they found that China is taking part in unfair trade practices in the semiconductor industry. The U.S. government said the implementation of additional tariffs will be pushed back until June 2027, and the tariff rate will be decided at least a month in advance. In Beijing, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs said China firmly opposed the U.S. abuse of tariffs and that such actions disrupt the stability of global industrial and supply chains and prevents the development of the semiconductor industry in all countries. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said his negotiating team had managed to strengthen some points in draft peace proposal following their talks with envoys in the U.S. Daniel Rao tells us more.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said his negotiating team had managed to strengthen some points in a draft peace proposal following their talks with envoys in the U.S. Zelensky said they presented a detailed report on the working drafts of agreements that already exist and on points of the agreements we have managed to strengthen. Zelensky stressed Ukraine has never been and will never be an obstacle to peace, and said Kyiv would continue to work with the U.S. to bring an end to the conflict. U.S. President Donald Trump has been pressing for a peace agreement in Ukraine for months. However, the negotiations have become entangled in the very different demands from Moscow and Kyiv. U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff said Sunday he held productive and constructive talks in Florida with Ukrainian and European representatives. Trump said the talks are going along. Elsewhere, Pope Leo said he feels much sadness that Russia did not agree to a Christmas ceasefire in its nearly 4-year-old war with Ukraine. Speaking outside his residence in Castel Gandolfo, Italy, the pontiff said he would make an appeal to Moscow one more time to respect at least Christmas Day as a day of peace. Meanwhile, Ukrainian families who took in displaced children during the war gathered together in Kyiv for a Christmas celebration dinner. The event, organized by the Katerina Osadcha Foundation, brought together at least 55 families for an evening of festivities and performance. The Katerina Osadcha Foundation was founded by Ukrainian journalist and TV presenter Katerina Osadcha in the hopes of bringing unity to Ukrainian children and families. Dan Rell, TV News.
Welcome back. The United Nations Security Council was briefed on the situation off the coast of Venezuela, where United States forces have been targeting and destroying vessels it alleges are smuggling drugs. Nazvi Karim with more.
Venezuela's envoy to the United Nations, Samuel Manzada, accused the U.S. of wanting to annex his country. He cited President Donald Trump as saying the U.S. would unleash the greatest navy in history and force Venezuela to hand over national treasures. This is the greatest extortion known in our history, he said, a gigantic crime of aggression, beyond rational parameters, all legal logic and all historical precedent. U.S. Ambassador Mike Waltz responded by saying Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro is a fugitive and Washington is targeting drug cartels.
Let me begin by stating and reiterating the United States does not recognize Nicolas Maduro or his cronies as the legitimate government of Venezuela. Nicolas Maduro is a fugitive from American justice and the head of the foreign terrorist organization Cartel de los Soles. President Trump has been very clear that he is going to use the full power of the United States of America, the full might of the United States to take on and eradicate these drug cartels which have operated with impunity in our hemisphere for far too long, and everyone knows it.
The UN Assistant Secretary General called for de-escalation.
U.S. actions have received support from some regional allies, but other member states within and beyond the region have voiced concern over the militarization of the Southern Caribbean and stressed the importance of respecting national sovereignty and international law. Several member states have echoed call for de-escalation and dialogue to address ongoing tensions.
One analyst in international affairs said the U.S. may be preparing for military strikes on Venezuela.
Boats would normally be seized. People would be tried in a court of law. Instead, they're simply blowing them up in international waters. If Maduro manages to hang on, which would have serious consequences for the people of Venezuela, then the next step could quite possibly be military strikes inside Venezuela.
Nazvi Karim, TVB News.
In Paris, France, a freight lift rose up on its crane on Tuesday towards the Louvre Museum, but this time it wasn't jewel thieves. It was workers installing security bars on the window used to break into the Paris landmark's Apollo Gallery in October's stunning heist. With the Louvre closed on Tuesday, maintenance workers mounted a freight lift to a second-floor balcony to secure new metal bars outside a now infamous window. The site mirrored what happened October 19 when a team of thieves posing as workers used a similar lift, then sliced through the window to enter the gallery. 4 people have been arrested and charged, but the jewels have yet to be found. And Santa Claus is making his final preparations ahead of his global gift-giving trip tonight. Daniel Rowell takes a look.
Early morning at Santa Claus Village, perched on the edge of the Arctic Circle, about 8 kilometers north of Rovaniemi, the capital of Finnish Lapland. At this time of year, the sun doesn't rise until around 11 a.m., but that doesn't stop Santa and his trusty elves from busily making their final preparations for Christmas Eve.
So preparations for Christmas are going so good because the elves have been very busy. They are very skillful, they are hardworking, they have been doing a lot. There's lots to do with the gifts, for example. They have been training the reindeer, of course.
With Santa's list almost complete, it's now possible to say whether children have been naughty or nice during 2025. Santa said, "I think mostly they've been quite good almost all the time, and that's enough." According to local tourist board Visit Rovaniemi, over 700,000 people typically visit the Christmas-themed destination every year to meet Santa, play in the snow, and get in the festive spirit. The village's post office receives over 500,000 letters and wish lists every Christmas. At peak times, it can rise to over 30,000 letters a day. With all the letters read and presents packed, Santa shared his Christmas message, hoping people will keep in mind that we have one world, one common home.
This Christmas, I hope that we all keep in mind that we have one world, one common home. And I hope this Christmas we could take a moment to think about how could Christmas bring us closer to each other? How could we all live in peace together around the world? So I would say Merry and peaceful Christmas.
Dan Raal, TV News.
Back in Hong Kong, many restaurants are offering special holiday menus for Christmas. Some hotel restaurants were fully booked a month in advance. Celine Chan tells us more.
Merry Christmas, everybody! Ho, ho, ho!
A festive dinner is a must for people looking to celebrate Christmas with a touch of ceremony. The Rosewood Hong Kong, which came first in the world's 50 best hotels, has launched special Christmas menus across its dining outlets. In addition to signature dishes such as smoked prime rib, their desserts and cocktails are also infused with festive holiday touches. The Christmas dinner pricing is similar to last year's, ranging from approximately $1,700 to $2,000 per person, yet it continues to attract many guests. Reservations for dates around Christmas were fully booked weeks ago. The hotel notes that while many high-end travelers showed interest, most bookings still came from local residents.
We have much more inquiries than we ever got. So our main key dates are 24 to 26, and we're mostly fully committed. Best part of this is that most of our guests are from Hong Kong. But it's also good to see international travelers joining our F&B selections, and we're going to close the year very strong.
The dining outlet's private dining room, decorated in Christmas themes, require a minimum spending of $15,000 and have also been fully reserved for the Christmas period and the long holiday weekends. During the festive season, the hotel also prepared complimentary postcards featuring iconic Hong Kong landmarks and local eateries for both visitors and residents to enjoy.
You can send these postcards to your loved ones for free, or take them to some of the locations pictured on these postcards to pick up a surprise gift.
The West Kowloon Cultural District Christmas Market is perfect for those who love a lively atmosphere. You can even bring your pets along to celebrate a fun-filled Christmas with family and friends. A vendor returning for the second year noted that this year's crowd is bigger than last, and business is also growing for them. Celine Chan, TVB News.
With just a few hours to go until Christmas, various venues around Hong Kong are already in full swing with the festive spirit. From Tai Kwun to Tsim Sha Tsui, residents can get into the holiday mood, accompanied by the city's very own Christmas trees. Maybe we'll see Santa across the sky. Take a look.
Jesus.